This is the Schmo with the pro with the former Strikeforce middleweight champion, the grappling coach at Xtreme Couture, Mr. Jake Shields in the flesh, Las Vegas, Nevada. How we doing?
Hey, doing great. How are you?
The Schmo can't complain. Did you get in a scuffle earlier today at the PI? You were training with Paulo Costa, maybe a run-in with Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah, I didn't get in a scuffle, but it was close to it. I was working out with Paulo. We were going over some technique, just sitting there chilling, and out of nowhere, Khamzat runs over and starts talking shit to Paulo. He has like 10 dudes with him, starts being, let's fight right now. So Paulo hops up, runs at him. I go to Paulo, like, I don't know him that well, but I'm like, why don't you get jumped? So I got your back. So we run over, start talking crap, and then Khamzat keeps acting like, let's fight now. But as he's doing that, he's walking away. So I'm like, you're saying you want to fight and you're walking away. That's kind of ironic.
Well, was this your first time working with Paulo Costa over there in the PI?
Yeah, he was first time training with him. He's the guy that, I think he's hilarious on Twitter, so we talk shit on there. But he hit me a DM like, hey, can we get a workout in? So I'm like, sure. Worked out with him. The guy's a freak, man. He's so athletic, and like also mentally he picks up stuff so quick. Anything I would show him, he'd be doing it within 20 seconds.
And then Khamzat, he comes in there, he sees the session. How did this all unfold?
Yeah, we were just sitting there working out. Apparently someone said to Khamzat, he's been watching us for a while. I guess he was just scouting us for like 10 minutes before he got the nerve to finally come over. And then he ran over out of nowhere and started talking crap. But he didn't run in the cage. If he actually wanted to fight, he would have jumped in the cage. Instead, he wanted to talk crap from the outside. So I think it was more of like marketing, so he can be like, look, I'm crazy, I'll fight anyone, without actually fighting anyone.
Well, fight week starting early for you because your team, Nate Diaz, no secret about that, man. He's getting ready for Khamzat Chimaev, headlining over here, UFC 279. What's this fight league like so far, man? How are the competitive juices flowing?
Man, it's great. Nate got in a couple of days ago. He's got his house. He's got the gym built out at his house. He's working out. He's looking strong physically and mentally. So it's ready for a war.
Is there any chance this is not his last fight in the UFC, no matter how it goes Saturday evening?
Yeah, of course, there's always a chance of that. It all depends on what Dana comes out with him. Nate's never been against the UFC or said he doesn't want to fight there. He just wants to be paid adequately. Nate has crossed over to an absolute mainstream celebrity. I mean, Eminem's rapping about him. I hang out with Nate a lot. I go, you go to like Hollywood and stuff, and celebrities are all trying to come up to his table or take pictures with him. You're just like, whoa, Nate's like he's the celebrity that all the celebrities are trying to meet. So he's crossed over to that next level of fame, and he needs to be paid for it.
What's your role going to be in his new fight promotion, Mr. Jake Shields?
I have no official role, but I'm for sure I'll somehow be involved. Being so close to Nate, I'll find some way to be involved.
Are you the reason why Khamzat Chimaev is not training in Xtreme Couture this week? Because he knows that you're the coach here and he can't walk through these confines.
Yeah, I have no idea, which is weird because I bumped into him over at the PI. That's the weird part with the PI. Guys from all sides train there. And like that, I saw on one side, so I walked completely the other side of the I didn't watch any of his training. I didn't want to be disrespectful and watch his work at once. So I walked to the other side where you couldn't see and was working with in Costa. And that's when I guess he had been watching us a while, apparently, and he comes over talking shit. So I did my part of staying away from him, trying to be respectful, and he's the one that came over. Yeah, he was talking shit to Paulo instead of me, but I'm training with Paulo. So that's kind of like, if you're talking shit to the guy I'm training with, you're kind of talking shit to me too.
Longtime fighter Jake Shields, you fought the who's who. You fought him 170 and 185. Some of your former opponents, the Robbie Lawlers, the Tyron Woodleys, the GSPs. A lot of the people want to put Kamaru Usman in the conversation for greatest welterweight of all time, had he beat Leon Edwards. So to you, Jake Shields, where does the pecking order sit right now and all time in the welterweight division?
I mean, obviously me number one. No, just kidding. That's just so tough, but I'm a little biased, but I go towards my era and say GSP. I don't know if that's just my bias because that's the era I was in, but I mean, Usman's phenomenal. You can't say he doesn't belong close in there. Woodley had a crazy run. I mean, that's the one I've beaten as well, but he had a good run for a second. It's always so hard to say who the number one guy is. It's really impossible to do. But if I was stuck picking, I would say GSP.
For sure. And then now Usman's got his opportunity to have that revenge like GSP did over Matt Serra.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. I think everyone was looking past Leon, and Leon had a great round, and then, he'd gone on to lose the next three, and then went out there with that just absolutely beautiful, perfectly timed. That kick was textbook, I had watched it like 10 times with how perfect the timing, the setup. Some people are saying a lucky kick. That was not a lucky kick. That was a perfectly timed kick.
And what was Nate Diaz's reaction to seeing that kick?
I imagine he was probably pretty excited. I didn't watch the fight with Nate. I sent him a couple of texts afterwards, but I think he was nice to see because he almost beat him. So it shows he's right there with the top couple guys in the world. Some people are looking at like, oh, he didn't beat Leon, but Leon's the champ. And he almost beat Leon, almost knocked him out. So it shows he's right there with the top, 3 fighters in the world.
And so what does this fight week look like for you? Are you just on standby?
I am slammed with so much stuff this week. Obviously, I'm on standby whenever Nate needs me. I'm also training Javid and Farid for fights next week in the UFC. I'm helping other guys like Paulo Costa wanted some help around this week. That's some people wanted to do privates, but I think I'm going to cancel them because there's too much going on with always put my fighters first.
Life is good in the Jake Shields life.
Yeah, it's definitely, things are not bad.
Can we get a final message for all the Jake Shields fans out there worldwide?
Just thanks for following me through all the years. If you want some controversial shit, you can go follow me at Jake Shields AJJ, and otherwise I'll see you soon.
The most outspoken man on social media.
I like to have a little fun.
Of course. Why not? He's the pro, I'm the Schmo Xtreme Couture. We're out.
Peace.